Welcome everyone to day 3, our final day of Uncopyable Content. And I just want to take a moment, first of all, to celebrate everything that you guys have stepped into in the last 2 days. You now know how to turn your everyday life into magnetic content moments right from your voice alone and not have to rely on a template or plug and play anything. Share your story in a way that lands and resonates with your audience, and be able to pass the only you test so that your message becomes instantly recognizable. You also have learned how to speak into those belief shifting truths that are going to truly connect you to your dream clients and draw them inside your world. So, I want to take everything that we've learned in the past 2 days and give you guys a content plan to move forward with. This is going to be your uncopyable content plan where you will know exactly what to post, when to post, and how to do it. There's not going to be any more guessing or racking your brain for content ideas. So, today we're going to make this process repeatable so that you can do it week by week and never run out of content ideas. So, we're not just talking about content that feels good to write, but we're going to build out a system that helps you show up with clarity, creativity, and confidence week after week after week. Because the truth is, content does get hard when it isn't rooted in you. That's when it becomes difficult. That's when it feels sticky. And that's when it honestly is not fun anymore. But when your content plan is built around you and your voice, your story, your beliefs, it becomes magnetic. And not only that, but it's sustainable. So let's talk about how to create a weekly flow that helps you stay visible, lead with your truth, and move people without burning out or second guessing yourself. So, we're going to have a set of content pillars, but this is going to be different than pillars you may have learned of before. First, we are going to anchor your content pillars, and what those are going to be are your big brand truths. So, these are the themes that you want to be known for. And not only that, but the transformation that you guide people through. So, I want you to ask yourself, if someone looked at my content for 2 weeks, what would they walk away knowing that I stand for? You're going to start with just 2 to 3 core pillars, and that's really all that you need to build a rock solid, recognizable, unforgettable brand. So, I'm going to give you guys just some examples of content pillars. These are not the ones that you have to use. This is just something that is going to give you an idea of where to start. Um, you could lean into magnetic messaging, brand embodiment, offer clarity. So, clarity on your offer and how you are going to sell that to others. A freedom style, a lifestyle, maybe motherhood and business, or a voice driven content strategy. These are just some ideas to get the wheels turning. Once you have those 2 to 3 content pillars that you want to base your messaging around, then you're going to plug those pillars into the Uncopyable weekly content plan. You're going to have 4 post types, and that is it. So each one is going to be very intentional. Each one is rooted in a framework that we have already covered in these past 2 days. So let me walk you through exactly how to do that. So the very first post that you're going to have is a story-based post. I want you to go back and use your magnetic method framework to tell a story that connects. You're going to tie this story to a belief or desire that your dream client holds, and this is going to become your I see you post. So you are calling out your audience, you're recognizing their struggles, and they are now going to be seeing themselves reflected inside your content. So you want to use a real story from your life or maybe through working with a client This is exactly what we talked about yesterday. You're going to use the 8-step magnetic method process to write out the story. And you want to make sure that at the end of doing that, that it passes the only you test. Remember, you can refer to the questions that are on your only you checklist. Could anybody else come along and copy and paste this and call it as their own and have it make sense? Does this speak my voice, my truths, my story, and only that? Okay, you need to make sure it passes the only you test. That is the gold standard, the absolute necessity, non negotiable. Then you're going to tie it back to a core belief and a soft call to action. The purpose of this post is going to create connection, visibility, and personal brand positioning. So just some few quick examples or something like, I almost didn't post this story, but I'm so glad I did, and here's why. Or I used to write like her until I found my own voice. The second type of post that you're going to create for the week is a belief bridge post. You're going to challenge outdated belief your audience holds and offer a new, unique perspective. This is your authority post, the one that says, here's what I know to be true. You're going to speak directly to something that your dream client currently believes. You're going to share your truth, reframe it, and offer your perspective. And then finally, position your framework or offer as the new way and the solution. The purpose of this type of content is to create authority, differentiation, and you're building that trust. So some examples would be, more templates won't fix your content. Owning your voice will. You don't need more content. You need more you inside your content. The third type of post for the week is going to be an educational or insight post. So you're going to take this time to teach something that only you could teach in only your way or method. This is like your wisdom post. So you are going to teach something you know, but this is not just a list of tips or tricks. You want to ground it inside your method or your lived experiences. And you want to include a personal insight to anchor it back to your voice. So the purpose of doing this kind of post is to create credibility, provide value, and further strengthen that trust. So some examples for this could be 3 lessons that helped me grow my brand through storytelling, or here's why your content isn't converting and what to shift today. The last type of post for the week is your offer or behind the scenes post. So you want to let them in, invite them inside your world, show how you work with others, share client wins, show them your frameworks in action. You can show them the process of you building out and creating an offer. Bring people behind the scenes of your work and what you're doing. Highlight transformations, client wins, breakthroughs, or your process of building out an offer. Speak directly to who it's for and invite them in. You can even do this by asking people's opinions and getting their insight and input. People love to give you their opinions. They love to feel involved. They want to feel a part of the process. So the purpose for this type of post is for conversion, leadership, and embodiment. So an example would be, inside my one-on-one mentorship, this is exactly how I help women build magnetic brands. My mini mind is open now. This is for the woman who's ready to stop blending in. So you're going to tie back to your offer with a clear call to action. So this, in essence, the goal of this type of post is your work with me. This is your work with me post. They can see why they want to choose you over anybody else. So now imagine just taking these 4 types of content and only doing these every week. There's no burnout, there's no overthinking, just consistent, magnetic, uncopyable content that reflects who you really are and leads people directly inside your world. This right here is the foundation of creating an uncopyable brand. And before I wrap up on all of this, I want you guys to hear this because it's really, truly important. And this is the essence of why we talked about everything we did in the past 2 days and why it's so important. The answer to all of this is you don't need to be creating more content. In fact, I'm going to be the coach who tells you you don't even need to post every single day. You don't need to sound like anyone except for yourself. Because when you create content that's rooted in you, your beliefs, your methods, your voice, your unique genius, it's more than enough. We want to create complete quality over quantity because when everything is rooted in you, this is when your content truly connects and converts and is going to do the heavy lifting for you. And now you have absolutely everything you need to move forward with this and go start creating uncopyable content.